Hi guys, Nothing to Prove here. Today's a beautiful day, because any day one can be out on two wheels is a beautiful day. And yeah, the Rally Pro here. Oh yeah, loving this bike so far. It has a bunch of updates here in 22. What are they? It's over 20 kilos lighter. Say 20 kilos, yeah, new frame, new swing arm, but it's no longer a single-sided swing arm. Triumph calls it the Tri-Link. We'll take a look at it later. Swing arm, still, yes, shaft drive. So it's 240 kilos, and the base 1250 GS, which is still shaft drive, is 249 kilos. So yeah, you can tell who is the benchmark, obviously. But we have to be careful though when you're trying to be something that you're not, or trying to mimic somebody else. Has Triumph lost this individuality? Have they? That's the question I want to try and answer today. And maybe by the end of the video we can answer that. All right, so lighter in weight, yeah. What else has changed? The engine got a little smaller but more power, yeah. It's the same T-plane that the 900, that Triumph went from the 800 Tiger to the 900 Tiger. Same motor, same uneven firing order. They say it feels like a twin down low and a triple on top so far. Yeah, I would agree with that. That's the right description there. Also, what's new this year? 4-year unlimited mileage. Unless you live in a former colony, then it's only 3 years. Let's get into some numbers and see where this thing sits, all right guys? 7 adventure bikes here. Triumph had to do this to stay on top. As you can see here, I have these things arranged by weight. And what's at the top of the chart there? Yeah, the Africa Twin in its base model, no DCT or anything like that, or any add-ons or adventure sports or whatever. So all of these are your base weights, just to give you an idea of where we're starting at. And where is the Tiger? It's right there in the mix, right there at the magic 240 kilo mark. Because the benchmark for this group is 249, but that's going back 4 years, over 4 years already. So I'm wondering what the new 1300 GS will weigh in the scales at. Because now BMW is probably scratching their head going, how can we get below this 240 mark? Just wondering. Also, take a look at here, the engine layout. Every single one of these has a different engine layout. Say, what do you mean? Well, you got one parallel twin, one longitudinal 75-degree twin. The other V twin is a 90-degree. Then you have another V, but it's a V4. Then you have this, it's the inline 3, and then of course the Boxer. And then last there with the Kawasaki with the inline 4. So if you look at me and say, Scott, I want to get a heavyweight adventure, what would you advise? Well, what engine configuration do you want? Because an engine, actually, the configuration gives you its character. And a lot of guys don't understand that, but here is where I'm saying, be careful here, guys. Check them out. Ride, take them for a different test ride if you can, because each one has a different sound, a different feel, a different power delivery, a different vibration, harmonics on there, harmonics. All this can depend on what you want. Now, how does this powertrain work together on the street? All right, let's try this quick shifter, shall we? Yeah. It's a little slow. It's not slow on the other Triumphs. I wonder if Triumph, you deliberately did that for whatever reason. But when you're going very, here, let's do it again though, very slight or Now let's go all the way down. Nobody's behind me, nobody's coming. Now let's bring her down to 1. Now let's do a gentle acceleration. Oh, that's beautiful though. Oh, that's beautiful. That is the most perfect quick shifter I have felt under, what am I, 30-40% throttle? Man, I'm liking that. But just on throttle is a little, there's too much of a hesitation in between shifts. So that's my only complaint. Oh, along with the throttle mapping is a little, the on-off is a little jerky. But as a unit, this powertrain, the engine and transmission, yeah, they're working seamlessly together so far. So 2 thumbs up for that powertrain. The chassis, let's take a look at these electronic Showas here, fully adjustable, 220 mils of travel. The GT will only have 200, but look at that, they're 320 millimeter dual discs on. Yeah, I don't know why, I just love the looks of the Stylemas. Don't know if it's necessary though, but these are not M50s, these are the 4.32s, so they're not the 5th gens, they're the 4th gens Brembos, but they're the 4.32s, the last gens of the 4th gen, so they're still pretty good. And coming back here, single piston Brembo on a 282 mil disc. But what I want to show you is this here. Yeah, what are you noticing on this side? So on the other side, yeah, it's the shaft. But here, this link goes up here, and this link goes, look at there, same thing, goes up here. Here's the shaft. But same travel, same electronic. This is all aluminum, and this, there's 3 extra bolts that you have to take off in order to change this rear tire now. And I asked the mechanic there at Triumph and BMW dealership, the dealership I work with is both, and he said no, there's no extra charge for changing a tire on this versus the 1250 GS. So it's the same, even though it's, he said it's about another 10 minutes of work, 10-15 minutes was his actual answer, to change this tire, but there's no extra charge. Now, how does this suspension feel on the street with these great Brembos? Now this chassis, let's see, how is this rear brake here? Let me get out of, clear this corner and hit the rear brake. Oh, there, lock, there, lock. Yeah, perfect. Excellent feel, excellent feedback, does not feel like a plank or a board at all. Good job. Now the front, oh, nice. Wow, I'm doing minimal pressure and this thing's stopping on a dime. These are Stylemas, although not M50 Stylemas. They're the 4.32, so the 4th gen, not the 5th gen Brembo. But that's, oh yeah. Now the dive is acceptable. It doesn't go too far. I can feel, and again, everything I have in street, I start on a base street, and that's what I choose to ride in. And this is, I'm liking it. I'm liking this suspension. It's right there with the GS. It's firm, it's supple, but yet it's not abusive. Yeah, I think that that's the perfect explanation. Road mode in this is dynamic mode on the GS. there, excellent explanation. Oh yeah, nice. So this chassis with this electronic suspension, yeah, 2 thumbs way up. Boom, 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 boom. Loving it. All right guys, let's continue on with the rest of this bike. I do like this bolt-on subframe, that's great. Loving that. High mount muffler, exhaust as usual. Wow, that actually felt plastic. What is that? That's some type of metal. Huh, looks like plastic though. 875 mils will go up 20 mils. If you get the GT, it's only 850 and will go up 20 mils. Nice, big, comfortable seat, and look at that. That will hold a nice passenger of a good size. So if you like a lot of woman, this is a good bike for you. Now, tank, 20 liters. Say, that's it? Yep. Base, same as the base, you know what. If you get the Explorer, 30 liters, same as the you know what. So, but filled up, this is 249 kilos, and if you get the 30, or the Explorer, then it's 261 kilos, I think it is. So, I'll put it up. How does this feel in town, this 249 kilos? In a little village here, yeah, this 240 kilos, wow, this is 249, is feeling nice. It's totally different from the other 1200. It's really, it's more flickable than the 1250 GS, or the Africa Twin for that matter, which is a lot lighter than this. So in the city here, this, and I'm in street mapping here. That on, the off is fine, it's perfect, but the on, did you hear it? Watch. Oh, yeah. That's, yeah, let's go up a gear. That's a little more gentle, and fourth gear, but I'm not going very fast. Let's drop it down to 2. That's my only complaint here in the city, is this on throttle. Off is fine. All right, guys, let's come up to Mr. Cylon, shall we? Say, what do you mean? Reminds me of the 1970s. 1978 to be exact is when Battlestar Galactica came out. Yeah, hand controls here. Heated grips. This did not come on. Once I turned them on and I shut the bike off, it didn't come back on. It's turning them off. I have mixed feelings about this joystick because it's so close. But I was looking down and watching it. Yeah, and you have your cruise control and standard controls here, standard Triumph controls here, and your home button here. And this hasn't changed. You know, it's still the same as on, what do you mean it hadn't changed? It's a new bike. Same as on the 900, really, Tiger. Same display and everything and options. Now, overall though, how would I place this? Here is where I started out the video and said, is Triumph changed? Have they changed their character, their behavior to copy or mimic and not be themselves? That's a very fine line, and I think Triumph is walking it here. They gave it some character back by giving it uneven firing order, and I think that helped because it separates itself from the smooth Boxer. But I think that's also what gave it some problem with the mapping with such a big motor and heavy crank. Maybe the next iteration software updates will help fix that mapping to control it. Maybe, I don't know. But has Triumph lost themselves? No, I don't think so. All your former colonies will say so, though. All right, guys, overall, yeah, if you're looking for a heavyweight adventure bike that is pricey and is up there, but different from a GS, then yeah, this would be my go-to bike. If I said, I'm not going to buy a GS to fit in with all the other GS guys, I want something different. This is a serious contender. This would probably be my #1 choice. I'm saying probably. I ride the Ducati next week or the following week, the V4S. And then I'll have an opinion on that. All right, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this review. And as always, guys, and most important, #1, ride safe. And #2, guys, ride like there's nothing to prove. Take care.